Good morning. Let's start. So yesterday I given you one simple example on the basic layouts. Have you tried that? Everyone tried that example? Huh? I posted that into classroom. Huh? So detail notes is there in HTML document. Example I posted yesterday how to handle it and work with it. Now some more important options we need to understand. So we discussed about how we can use the semantic elements and design a layout. To create more layouts, we need to learn some more options inside the HTML. So let's see what are the basic options in HTML. Already I told you that we will design some layouts. But to design those layouts, we need some more knowledge. We need to learn some more elements. Then we can design the layouts. First, we will see some basic elements that are required for designing the pages. Yesterday, we used some CSS and some basic styles we applied for this. One I created like this. This is one simple one. Another page that we designed. This is the layout page. And we learned how to apply the styles and keep the presentation according to our requirements. And we learned how to design these layouts. What is the purpose of them? Next, after understanding this, now you need to know about some basic HTML entities and elements in body section. In body section, we need to know about some basic HTML entities and elements. So already we learned in body section, we can keep everything clean with the help of aside, article, header, footer and all. Now some more important entities and elements are required. Entities and elements. Actually, while designing the pages, first you need to understand about line breaks. You need to know about line breaks. Now we are going to learn some basic HTML things which are very important for designing all kind of pages. Line breaks, one of the problem is generally when you are designing a page, let's create another page called home.html. Okay. In this page, I am designing doc type HTML head and the title as home. In the body section, we are creating a symbol. So hello and welcome to HTML. So basic HTML elements, some sentences we written. Now currently you are writing in HTML. You are writing in an editor. In editor, we are using the editor Visual Studio Code. So whatever you write in the editor, browser cannot present in the same way. How you written in the editor, it cannot present in the same way. It will transform this information. I written 3 sentences in 3 lines, but when it goes to browser, when I run this in the browser, everything comes in single line. That means how you written in editor, the same way it will not display inside the browser. Lot of transformations will happen. Changes, transforming is changing. So we want to display the line breaks. Line breaks are ignored automatically. To add line breaks, that means browser ignores Browser ignores line breaks. Line breaks defined in editor. Browser ignores line breaks defined in editor. You have to add line break manually by using br element. By using br element, we have to add line break manually. Browser ignores line breaks defined in editor. Whatever you written in editor, it will ignore those line breaks. You have to manually add line breaks. And to add line breaks manually, you have to use br. So here, so in this now, you can see after hello, I want a line break. After that, I want a line break. Then we can put br here, br. It's not mandatory that br is used at the end. You can use in between anywhere. Anywhere you can write that br, there it will break the line. Suppose after that again we need br. And after that last line, there is no other information, so we don't need any line break there. I am adding, suppose basic, after basic I am adding br. You can add anywhere. There it will add a line break, and you can see the information will be separated in 3, 4. Wherever you added the break, it will put a line break here. So by default, the line breaks that you written in editor will not be used by browser. So you have to manually add line breaks. For that, we have to use this br. Now, when you are learning and attending interviews, I already told you, one frequently asked question in interviews is, what is difference between br slash and slash br? This is the question regularly asked. And already we know the reason for that. I already told you the answer for this in the beginning itself. So I told you that we have void elements. Void elements are self-ending elements. I already told you this answer. Void elements are self-ending elements. Self-ending elements means they don't need an end tag. But some editors cannot understand that they are void elements. Due to that, they may give you a warning saying that, are you missing end tag? But we know that it doesn't require an end tag, but editor is expecting an end tag. Then to satisfy editor, we use their answer for this is, so br is the valid line break. Line break is the valid line break. So br slash defines that it is self-ending, or you can also call as void, self-ending or void. And this slash br, this is invalid. It is invalid. It will work, but you should not use it. And remember, so functionally, all are same. Functionally, all are same. That means you write br, you write br slash, you write slash br. Functionally, all are same. And remember one more point. So browser can understand only br. Browser can understand only br. So avoid using br slash or br. So better use only br. Others time waste. They are nonsense. They don't need at all. We don't need them at all. But in interviews, people ask that what is difference between br and br slash, just to know that do you know about self-ending elements or not. That's only the point. That is completely baseless. So HTML don't have any tag br slash or slash br. These are all developers' inventions. So developers invent some new things just because they want to suppress some errors, warnings. So browser cannot understand others. Browser can understand only br. For example, see now, I am writing here br and I am writing br slash, and here I am writing slash br. I am writing in this way. And I am saving this. I am saving this. And let's refresh here. You can see no change. Same. Observe carefully. Right click in the page and go to inspect. And here you can see elements. In the elements category, you will see the elements used in the page. This is the elements category. Open the body section and you can see all are converted into br only. But we return br slash, we are written slash br. Finally, browser can understand br. So anything else you are writing, you are wasting your time. You are wasting browser time. It's completely useless. So don't write, just use br professionally. But you will see some people writing br slash and others. We don't care. Why? Because that is because of their situation inside their editors. So HTML don't have any br slash or slash br, only br. So completely professionally, just use this br. That is enough. That is enough. So line breaks is one important thing. Second one, blank spaces. Blank spaces. In HTML, next one, blank spaces. And very important about blank spaces you need to know is browser can use single character space between characters or words. Browser can use only single character space between characters or words. So additional blank spaces are ignored. Additional blank spaces are ignored. So you can manually add a blank space by using ampersand NBSP. By using ampersand NBSP semicolon. That's what you have to do. So this is actually called as non-breakable space. Non-breakable space, NBSP. So when you are writing anything in HTML, one character space is recognized. Between characters or between words, one character space browser will take. More than that it will ignore. So it will not take more than one character space. So you have to manually add the spaces if you want it. You need to manually add the spaces if you want. And to add space, you have to use ampersand NBSP semicolon. That is used for blank space. For example, see, here I am writing some basic sentence. So welcome to HTML. Okay. That is the sentence I written. Just I will zoom for your visual sake. Yeah. Now here, see, between words, one character space is present. Between words, one character space, it will take, no problem. Between characters also it will take. So between characters, after H, one character space. After T, another. M, another. And you can see it will take one character space between words and characters. But additional spaces it will not take. For example, after H, I am adding two more spaces. After T, I am adding two more spaces. L, I am adding two more spaces. I will save this and I will refresh. You will not see any change there. Any additional space, more than one character space that you have given, it will be ignored. It will ignore the blank spaces. So what we have to do now is to add the blank spaces. Two spaces I want there. Then for every space, one space by default it will take. One space it is allowed. It will take one space. One space it is allowing. You see one space that is allowing. You want extra space, then ampersand NBSP semicolon. You want one more space, again ampersand NBSP semicolon. So that means two spaces after H. After H. That means totally three spaces after H. Because one space default it will take. Other spaces we have to manually add. And I will save this. You can see some space between H, T, M. So that means actually one character space is there and two additional spaces we are adding here. Two additional spaces we are adding. So you want to add two more additional spaces, copy that and put it here. After this, two more. After M, two more. Then it will add the blank spaces like this. So spaces that you have given in your editor, they will be ignored if they are more than one character. Between words or between characters. Between words, if you want to add space, with CSS we can add. With CSS we have special attributes. You can add any number of units of space. But without CSS, if you want to add space, this is only the way. So you have to add by using ampersand NBSP. So you need to configure in this way. You need to define in this way. That means syntactically, we have to write like H ampersand NBSP semicolon and ampersand NBSP semicolon like T like this. So similarly, you have to add M and similarly you need to add L. The blank spaces you need to define that. So line breaks you have problem and blank spaces also you have problem. You have to handle that by using BR and by using ampersand NBSP. Next important is pre-formatted text. Pre-formatted text. These are all very important while designing the pages. The pre-formatted text. The pre-formatted text. Now you have learned blank spaces and you have learned line breaks. But using these line breaks and blank spaces to present complex information is not great. It will take so much time. For example, see, here I am writing a simple div. That is one division. I will simply say as sample C program. Sample C program. And below that another div, another division. And here I am writing, suppose hash include, so stdio dot h, something like this I defined. And I created some main. So, and here I defined some printf. So, and welcome to HTML. Just don't worry, this is not code. This is just only some text. I am not writing any program here. I am just presenting some text. but this text contains lot of complications. So you see, this is one line, after that main another line, then curly brace started another line, and after that some spaces, three spaces for printf, and another curly brace ends here. Now you can see everything is presented, and everything is presented in single line here. That means it is going to present everything in single line here. And stdio.h is missing because you kept in angle brackets. When you kept in angle brackets, so it thinks that it is some tag, but that is not tag, that is plain text. That means in HTML, these angle brackets are not allowed to present directly. With combination of any word, individually they are okay. But if you put those angle brackets with a word, then any word, it thinks that it is a tag. It is a tag. So due to that, it will ignore it. It will ignore. So we need to print those characters. We need to print greater than symbol. We need to print this less than symbol. For that, we have to use ampersand LT semicolon. LT for less than symbol. And we have to use ampersand GT semicolon. This is for greater than symbol. And you can see that now stdio.h, it is in greater than and less than symbols. We cannot use greater than less than symbol for a word because it will treat it as a tag and it cannot present that. For that, we have to use these characters. So ampersand LT for less than, ampersand GT, that is for greater than. But still, the presentation is not how we are expecting. The presentation is not how we are expecting. You can see that the presentation, everything comes in one line. Then what I have to do, after first line, I have to add BR. After main, I have to add BR. After this curly brace, we have to add BR. This is very risky. So many line breaks, so many blank spaces. Instead of that, now HTML provides one option. What you can do is, you can enclose all this. You can enclose all this in a pre-tag. You can enclose in a pre-tag. So that means actual point here is pre-formatted. Pre-formatted means HTML ignores line breaks and blank spaces in a formatted content. So you can display the content, formatted content. Yeah, you can display the formatted content. You can display the formatted content exactly as defined in editor. You can display the formatted content exactly as defined in editor by using pre element. Pre-formatted element. Pre stands for pre-formatted element. That means you have to write here in this way, pre, and whatever your content is, and enclose that in pre. Now it can display the information exactly how you defined inside the editor. That means you don't need line breaks and blank spaces. Here some more points are there, I will tell you. Actually, pre-formatted is about only these two things. One is line break, another one blank space. Line break and blank space. So now see here, I am enclosing that in the pre-tag. In the pre-tag, I am keeping this block. In the pre-tag, if I keep that block, I am not using any BR, blank spaces and all. And you can see it is presented in the same way. it is simply presented in the same way. You don't need to worry about line breaks, blank spaces. How it is written in the editor, it will reflect in the same way. So, but very important is it have a different font style. So body section is having different font, and this pre-formatted is that we can change. We can change font, we can change background, we can change colors, effects with the styles. That's not an issue. Here the key point is it able to present exactly how we defined or not? Now, many times people have one common doubt. The doubt is like, in that case, can I write these angle braces also so that it can present them exactly same? That means people have a doubt like, in that case, this is okay or not? That's not okay. Why? Because pre-formatted is not about transforming the tags. It is about only alignments. Pre-formatted is only about alignment, not about transforming the tags and elements or text. Pre-formatted is only about alignments, is only about the placement. It is not about transformations. That means many times when anybody tells you about pre-formatted, you will hear that many times people tell you that pre-formatted means it will display exactly how you written. Then immediately you will get a doubt like, in that case it should display this stdio.h also. So the sentence delivered to you is wrong. The actual concept is it can display only the format. It cannot display the transformations. That means now this stdio.h will not be displayed there, because it is treating as a tag. If you want those symbols, then you have to use ampersand LT and here ampersand GT. This is mandatory, and it is able to display the content exactly how you have defined. You can give the appearances according to your requirement. For example, already we learned style. See, at the top what I am doing, I am giving a style. In that wherever pre-formatted content is there, for background color, I will put as gray, background color as white, and I will keep padding as 20 pixel padding. I given width as 300 pixel, and you can see that the pre-formatted text is going to display in this way. We can keep its appearance in a different way. You can change the font, you can change the indents, you can change the spacing, you can change anything. That is with the help of styles. The main purpose of pre-formatted is to display the content with the same formats that you have defined in editor. Instead of using lot of line breaks, lot of blank spaces, you can just enclose everything in pre. For example, see, suppose not only this, here I am writing some content without pre. I am writing some content. Suppose tag and space description, something like this. After that, I written in this way. In that, I defined as BR. So here I will put it defines line break. Like this, I written some content. So I defined the content like this. And I said some ampersand NBSP. So just I am giving some characters. So it is for blank spaces. Now you see everything is displayed in one line. Now we will enclose this entire area in a pre. We enclose that in a pre, then it can able to present in the same format. But with alignments we have to change, because I given a width above, I given certain width for it. I need to remove that width to fit the content accordingly. So because previous content was enough for that width, but this content is not enough, then we have to define in this way. So without losing the formats, if you want to display content as it is, then you have to define by using pre-formatted text. So this is very important for presenting the contents. Line breaks, blank spaces, and pre-formatted. Another important, so we have code. Code. Another we have code. Actually, code is technically, these days it is very familiar, it is very much used. Generally, code is nothing but, suppose we are writing some program here, we are writing some code here. See, I am writing some code here. Suppose var x equal to 10. So var y is equal to 20. Var z is equal to x plus y. This is some programming. You don't need to worry about what is var and all. This is just simple program. Some program we written. And I said some document dot write. So addition is equal to plus, so z. That is how we return some code. Now generally it is going to display in this way. Now recently what happened is, suppose you might have heard about playgrounds. Playground means coding playgrounds. Coding playgrounds means, suppose you are learning Java, .NET, PHP, Python, some technology, or JavaScript, HTML, and you are using a tab or a mobile. In a mobile, you want to practice your Java program, .NET program, not possible, because you have to install that entire software. It will take a lot of memory. Your devices will not fit. These days, you don't have that problem. Why? Because these days, online playgrounds are provided where you can open in a browser and you don't need to download, install anything. You can write programs directly. In that browser, you can write the program, you can compile, you can run, you can test, and you can see. That means what you can do is, for example, so we have JS Fiddle. This is a coding playground. JS Fiddle is a coding playground for HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I don't need to download any Visual Studio Code. I don't need any live servers or nothing. Just I can open this on my mobile also. And here I can write my code. Suppose welcome. Suppose I return, some just welcome to HTML. After that, I can run that. There is a run button and it will run it and it will display that output here. These type of playgrounds are very common now. Java, .NET, PHP, Python. You have playgrounds for every huge technology. So these days, cloud technologies all are supporting these kind of environments. That means now people have an habit of writing the code inside the browser. Now browsers need some additional knowledge about this. Browsers cannot understand the code that you have written. They will treat everything as normal text. To make the browsers, to make the search engines understand that this block is not an ordinary text, it is some code. Just to tell them that it is some code, they will not compile or run. For that, we need separate application environment. To tell them that this is some code, then HTML provided a new option for that. What you can do is, you can enclose all this into a code element. Inside the code element, you can use a pre-formatted text. Because if I use only code will just tell the robots that this is code. This is not ordinary text. You see, I am writing just code. And I save this. You can see that code have little different appearance. Fonts different. They are different. For example, here ordinary text I given as div sample code. And you can see Body text is different and code is different. Code is having a different appearance, but alignments are not same. For alignments, what we have to do? We have to enclose this in another area. What is it? Pre. Then we can keep that alignment in the same way with the code concept. That is good. That means we have to use combination of pre, and if it is a code, computer programming code, then you put it in code so that robots can understand that this is not ordinary text, this is some programming. But later, our developers will write to read that program, compile the program, run the program, and handle the output through their application environments. So as of now, we need to tell the robots, the search engines, that this is a code block. And to do that, for that, they have introduced a new option called code. So code is nothing but it is an HTML element used to configure a code block. Browser engine and SEO can handle code blocks. Can handle code block. Browser engines can and SEO can handle these code blocks. So it is defined by using code element. Syntactically, we have to just write code and your code and close. These examples already there in the notes. I'm just giving you syntaxes here. This is the code element that is available. That is a code area defined for HTML. Code is just a format to understand. Alignments it cannot give. Alignments are again used and defined by using pre. We have a combination. Another important is they have introduced another option, variables. So actually computer programming uses variables to store data. Variables are used for storing the data and defining the data structure actually. Computer programming uses variables to store data. And HTML provides var element for designating variables. HTML provides var element for designating variables. To designate the variables, it will provide var. Var is an element for variables. This is also to make it browser engine friendly and SEO friendly. So this is not going to do any effect in compiling or processing. It is just only presentation. That means to make the browser engines and to make the robots to understand that this is a variable used for storing some data. For example, see here, I am defining how the variables are configured. Actually, this X, Y, Z are variables where we store the data. For example, I will write something like this now. So I will put here, generally I will show you, directly I will show you how it works actually. Suppose I am giving var username is equal to John, something like this. This username is a variable where this value is stored. It is stored. That is in general computer programming. Now actually everything presents in a same way. Robots thinks that all are normal text. But for robot, you need to tell that username is variable. Then what you can do is, for this username, you can use a var element there. You can enclose that in var. Then automatically it will have a different appearance for it. It's not just appearance. It is making it more SEO friendly, browser engine friendly. That means variables have a different appearance now. They are italicized. They have a different appearance. Of course, with the styles, you can give some more different appearance. For example, suppose this is one and I am giving a BR line break, then var, suppose say another variable. And here I defined as suppose email is equal to some john@gmail.com, something like this. And you can see this is another variable email. And wherever we are keeping that var, so I'm defining the color as red, and the variables will have that red color. That means you can separately highlight them, you can separately manage them, you can easily handle in the programming. These kind of presentations makes everything simplified for developers. And this is very much regularly required for presenting some code snippets. When you are presenting some code snippets in the page, you need this kind of representation. For variables, we have a special option called var, and you can use this option. So syntactically, how you define var. So this is var, this is username, and var close and is equal to some John. That's how we configure a variable. So these are all some new things in HTML to make the pages, the content in the pages more search engine friendly and browser engine friendly. For that, these are various options we are having. So we have variables. So we have code. We have pre-formatted text. We have another some basic options. Another important is titles. Titles for code, or you can say for text. Titles for text and images. Titles for text and images. These are also some new things in HTML5. Titles for text and images are nothing but, actually, in old versions we have abbreviations. Now they are removed. We don't use those abbreviations anymore. We go with these titles for text and images. Anywhere for text or images, you can use these titles. Titles are nothing but, actually, title can display content. Can display content as a screen tip. Title can display content as screen tip. Title can display the content as screen tip. And actually, screen tip is displayed when mouse pointer is over the element. Is over the content, you can say, over the content. Screen tip is displayed when mouse pointer is over the content. So that's what we have titles. We have title. So generally, you have, suppose, some content here. Some content we have defined. Suppose we have a span. This have a title. So some description in the title and your text, and close that span. That's how we write titles. You can write in a span, you can write in a div, you can write in a paragraph, you can write in a heading, you can write in a picture, image, anywhere. In any container, these titles are allowed now. These titles are allowed. You can display that. For example, see, how we can configure these titles. So title For text and images we will see later. Images we can see later. Here I am typing some content in the body section. Here I am designing. So host test your website on, or you say test your web project on server. Test your web project on server. I given a star mark for server. And actually this server is a term, so which I will put in a separate span. Separate span I will give this. That means this is generally like this. Now server is the term for which I need some description to throw, right? Some description about server I need to display. Then here I can add a title. So server, it resembles software and hardware. It resembles software and hardware. It satisfies the client request by sending and receiving data. That's just some title I defined there. And you see now there is nothing shown there. Whatever I given as title is nothing shown there. When I move the mouse pointer onto that word, it will display it. It will display that complete sentence, whatever you given as title. So title indicates this content to display. That means when mouse pointer is over this server, then it is going to display. It is going to display that information. Earlier, see, old versions, so forget about them, time waste, right? Because these days, advanced is going on everywhere. Old versions, forget about them. Websites, several websites, online tutorials, everything, they still hook up with the old concepts, right? And time waste with using those old concepts. They are almost deprecated now officially. Deprecated means no longer in use. So don't go with those websites. Many people come with a point like, I have seen in W3 schools that this option is there. W3 schools is only for school people. That is only for kids schools, not for developers. Schools, that is only for schools people. That means the tutorial is completely for school people, not for real world developers. That's not great and enough. Right? That's the reason don't ever come with a point that in that website I have seen this, in this website I have seen this. You will see so many things on websites. We don't care. We will always stick to the latest standards, what are being introduced, and we will follow the same. Right? That is the reason this title is new for the HTML people. Because earlier HTML people use options called abbreviations. They use acronyms, abbreviations. Those days gone, almost 5-10 years back gone. But still people learn that in HTML even today. But we don't need that now. So we will just stick to the latest things, what are happening. So titles are defined simply by using title. Anywhere you can keep it. Currently I kept in a span. You can keep it in an image. Image also can have a title. You can keep in any element. Later when we learn about images, I will show you how we can display the contents, right? Title for text or title for images. Anything you can define by using this title attribute. Remember, title is an attribute. Attribute defined for HTML elements. Title is not a tag. Title is an attribute defined for HTML elements, right? It's not a tag. It is just an attribute. This is title, how you can define the titles, how you can display the titles. Next, important in the text, we have headings. How we can present the headings and how we can configure the headings. What is the reason of defining headings? how you can define and configure the headings. Actually, so many technical points are there about this. So the concept is, for example, see, I will first show you the point. Actually, we are typing some content here. Let's add some content here. I'm just defining like HTML. Okay. So it is a markup language. Okay. Then we have like normal elements. So, and I defined as, so they return some definition. They return a presentation directly on callback. Just I am typing some presentation. So void elements. So they are self-ending elements. Just like this, I have some headings, some topics. And I am presenting, you know that everything comes in one line. Now in this content, I have some headings, like HTML is a heading. Void normal elements is a subheading under it. And void elements also a subheading like normal elements. Now headings need a different appearance. Heading needs a different appearance. Then for headings, actually, HTML provides HN element for headings, where for headings where N refers to level number from 1 to 6. Heading levels from 1 to 6. We configure like this: H1, like H1 and H1 ends. H2, so like H2 ends. Similarly, you can give up to H6. H6 ends. So heading levels 1 to 6. Heading levels 1 to 6. Decrease the font size. Decrease the font size. Heading levels 1 to 6, decrease the font size. That means heading 1 is the highest and heading 6 is the least heading. Heading 6 is the least heading. Actually, headings are defined by using this option. Here, so many technical points are there. I will tell you here. So many technical things are there. We will see about them, how these options are defined. So headings are nothing but, see, let's go into this. HTML is a heading. Then I will enclose it in H1 heading. And normal elements is a subheading under this. Then for normal elements, I give heading 2. Void elements is also same like normal elements. So in that case, this also I will give as heading 2. It's not like heading 1 under it, heading 2 under it, heading 3. Levels we have to define by levels. So these two, now you can see that headings are displayed in this way. That means headings by default have a separate appearance. They have bold, they have line break above and below, and they are clear in presentation. Gradually from heading 1 to heading 6, the size decreases. Now, the question asked in interviews is, without headings also, we can present like this. For a person who is watching your website, he don't know whether you used heading tag or not. He don't care. Then why to use headings? For example, see, I am giving another option here. I am giving another option here as RC data elements. So this is a option defined. I am just writing like they will not allow any content within the context. Like this I define. Now this RC data elements, I want to highlight this. That means just like heading, what I will do is here I am writing so a BR. Okay. After that I am writing some font. Don't worry what I am writing, just see. Font size is equal to some 5 and I am writing some bold. In that I am giving RC data elements. After that again a line break, and you can see that it have the same type of appearance. It have same type of appearance. Now obviously for a person who is watching your website, he don't know HTML. He don't know which tag you are using. He don't know even which technology you are using. For him, it doesn't matter. For him, it looks like heading or not. That's enough. Then why to use a heading element for heading? Without heading also, you can display in a similar way. Now, actually, if you ask this to an ordinary beginner, learner, then you will get an answer. Like here you are using so many options to get a heading style, but with one option we can get that style. That is 90% of general ordinary learners thinking. They think that you are using many here, there you are using only one. That is how people think in general. That is completely non-technical thinking, right? That means a non-technical person thinks that here I am using 4 options to get that appearance. There with one option I will get that appearance. That is not the point. Now what is the point? Why we need headings? So what is the responsibility? Actually, you should know that. You should know this very important. Heading element is used to make headings SEO friendly. They are used for making the headings SEO friendly, so that search engine optimization, SEO can identify the topics in your page. SEO can identify how many topics are there in the page by reading those heading styles. If you don't give heading styles, you give heading in a different way, then those topics are ignored. I will show you one small point here. I will show you one small option here. Currently, for a general person, when he looks here, he thinks that there are 3 subtopics. 3 topics are there. Normal elements, void elements, and RC data elements. See, I am writing a small program here. On load, body load. Don't worry about this program, just see it. So function body load. And here I am writing alert document.get elements by tag name. And that is heading 2.length. And here I will say a simple sentence here. Total, So total number of headings. So total number of headings. You see now here, now I written a program to know how many headings are there in the page, so that I can summarize the topics, saying that in this page, these topics are present. But see here, it is saying that total number of headings are 2. Technically, it is saying that total number of headings are 2. But as I see in the page, I have total number of headings here. In that total number of headings, I have 3. In the page, you see, I have, this is looking like a heading. This is looking like a heading. This is also looking like a heading. It is looking like 3 headings, but technically it is saying that you have only 2. That means technically it is wrong, but visually it is okay. That means for an ordinary person who watches your website, he thinks that 3 topics are there, but robots will read only 2 topics from there. That means robots are misguided by using this. Robots cannot understand how many headings are correctly present. Why? Because as per the logic, they can read the headings and they will return only two are present. But other headings we designed by using some other techniques. So to make the page search engine friendly, so that search engine can identify how many topics are there in your page, better give headings with heading element. Better give headings with heading element. Without heading element, can I give heading? You can give if you don't want them to be SEO friendly. If you don't want them in search engine friendly, you don't want search engine to summarize the page, ignore. You don't need to use headings. You can directly display that style. So now I am removing this now. I am removing all this and I am giving a heading style now. I am giving a heading style for this. That means for RC data elements also, I am giving the same heading style. Heading style. Now my robot can understand. Now it says that you have three headings. It can identify correctly. So headings are not for people to show that these are headings. Headings are for making the page search engine friendly, so that search engine can identify what are the topics in your page. That is the reason. So that means the reason. So you don't need to know about this coding, right? Later you will do that in JavaScript. As of now, I will remove this. This is not required. Just I showed you what is the purpose actually. The point here is, remember, that is the reason. So don't use headings, heading element for highlighting, any text or content in a paragraph. Don't use heading element for highlighting any text or content in a paragraph. Don't ever use headings for highlighting. Use headings only for headings. So another point is, don't use lot of headings in one page. This will spam your page. That means in a page you keep, there is no count that 5 headings, 10 headings, there is no count. If you are using lot of headings in a page, that means you are trying to highlight lot of topics in the page. Then robots will think that this person is trying to highlight everything. Then they will simply spam your page. That means your page will be spammed. It will not be used in the search results. That is the reason. Don't use lot of headings. Keep always reasonable. There is no count. Now somebody immediately asks for how many headings I can have. There is nothing like how many headings count. But don't use too many headings in the page. Depending on the content, depending on the summary of the topics that you are defining, use limited number of headings in one page. If you are using lot of headings in the page, they will spam your page. Because even high level applications also have a threat of spam. For example, you got a offer letter from Wipro, Infosys, TCS like companies, IBM like companies, job offer letter. Then those people will send a message to you saying that please check your spam. Right? That means Wipro like people offer letter go to spammer. What does that means? That means Wipro, Infosys, TCS, IBM, software. So great people, their emails will go to spam. Yes, of course. Why? Because robots can't know about Wipro, Infosys, TCS. Robots can know only what they have written in the email. If that is not understandable properly for robot, they will simply spam. That is the reason they don't care who is sending the mail. They don't care it is your personal address, it is some company address. They will read the content. If content is not friendly, they will spam. That is the reason every person have an habit of telling you that please check your spam. Your email may go to spam because we have sent some content which are not robot friendly. Several contents are not robot friendly. That means our main design should be robot friendly. So Don't use headings for highlighting any text. Why? Because, for example, I want to highlight this word markup language. To highlight that word markup language, I am using heading 6 style. Heading 6 style. That is the least style. You should not do that, because you saw that heading is having bold. Heading is having different appearance. By seeing that, you think that I will give this heading for highlighting it, but you cannot. Why? Because headings have a line break. Headings have a line break by default, above and below. Then you put the heading 6 here, automatically the line breaks there. Line breaks there. So don't use headings. Don't use headings for highlighting text or content. Use headings only for headings. Use headings only for headings, and don't use lot of headings on one page. This will spam your page. These are very important. So that means the question is, frequently asked question is, without heading element, can we define heading styles? Heading styles. Answer is yes. Yes. But they are not SEO friendly. SEO friendly. Another important point, another question is, can we change the size, color, and effects for heading? Another question, very common. Answer is yes, with styles. With CSS, you can do it. That means headings have a default appearance. It doesn't mean that it should be with the same appearance. Its appearance you can change according to your requirements. According to your requirements, you can change the appearance. You can configure and change the appearance. That means headings are for search engine friendly. For to make them user friendly, you can put some size, color, effects for headings, and you can display them. That means what you can do, suppose I have heading 1. I have here heading 1. You can see I have heading 1. I am writing heading 1. For heading 1, I am giving some background color as red. I am giving color as white. I am giving text align as center. I am giving as padding as some 10 pixel. I am giving border as 2 pixel solid and black. And so I give some, suppose 5 pixel solid black. And you can see you have that appearance for that heading. You can change the appearance of heading. Now 2 facilities are there. One, for user it is heading. For robots also it is heading. For robots also it is heading. Why? Because we are using heading element only. Robots can understand your heading, and it is user friendly also. That means, can we apply effects for headings? Yes, you can apply effects for heading. You can change the appearance of heading. By using CSS, you can change the appearance of heading. Then what is the purpose of heading? The purpose of heading is to make the content SEO friendly. So the another question is, what is the purpose of heading element? That already I given the answer. What is the purpose of heading element? For this, answer is to make the content SEO friendly. To make the content SEO friendly. So SEO can summarize the topics in your page by using headings. SEO can summarize the topics in your page by using headings. What topics are present in your page, it can summarize by using these headings. That is done by using the heading element. And very important, so for heading we have an attribute. Heading have only one attribute. So attribute is heading can be defined. Headings can be defined with align attribute. By default, HTML provides align attribute. Headings can be defined with align attribute. Heading can be defined with align attribute. That means we can write like this. Heading align is equal to what? Center. So your text and close heading. Of course, without that we can apply by using styles, CSS, right? But by default, HTML provides align attribute for heading. You can align the headings left, center, right, or justified. So this is heading, how you can configure the headings and define the heading. Right. Next, one more important now. That means how we can present the headings. Next important is paragraphs. Paragraphs and block quotes. And they are very simple. If you want to present paragraphs and block quotes, paragraphs are defined by using P element, and block quotes are defined by using block quote element. And only the point is both are same. So block quote have left and right indentation. Block quote have left and right indentation. Indentation is the space between the margin and the content, just like padding. So margins you can adjust more. Block quotes, only the difference is there. That means you can put simply P, and this is your paragraph, and you can put block quote, and this is for your content, some content block quotes. So that is simple option here. So paragraphs, again, advantage is paragraphs same like headings, they have a line break and above and below. So if you want to present paragraphs, don't use divs. Already yesterday I told you when to use div. If a topic contains 3-4 topics, if a topic contains 3-4 paragraphs information, all those paragraphs are kept in a div. So don't use individually divs for paragraphs. Always use paragraph for paragraphs. So, and paragraph block quotes are similar. Only the difference, block quote will have indentation. For example, suppose I am copying some paragraphs. I am copying some paragraph information here. Let me copy some paragraphs information here. This is some paragraph. I will copy all these sentences and I will paste it here. So I am pasting that here. This is 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. I am having 4. Okay. And everything looks normal. I need to cleanly separate every paragraph. Then every paragraph is enclosed. Every paragraph is enclosed in a P. In a P element, you have to keep every paragraph. That is the first paragraph, and this is the second paragraph, and this is the third paragraph. Every paragraph must be defined in a P element, and this is the fourth paragraph. And you can see paragraphs by default have line break above and below. Paragraphs by default have line break above and below. So divs have only one line break. So correct spacing we have to define by using paragraph. And similar to paragraph, you see the first one, instead of paragraph, I am using block quote. Block quote also looks like same paragraph only. So block quote also similar to paragraph only. Block quote also similar to paragraph, but observe block quote displays in this way. Block quote have left margin and right margin adjusted, but that is only limited. If you want more, then you know how to give. Already we learned in the last session. If you want more, then what we have to do? We have to write here block quote. So what we have to do? Margin left. Margin left some 200 pixels. Similarly, margin right. Margin right also 200 pixels. And font style, I will give as italic. And you can see the block quotes will appear in this way. We want a special appearance for blocked content. That means we can give simply like text align. We can give justify and it will be just like a blocked content. Block quotes are usually used for this kind of presentation. Paragraphs and block quotes are similar in all the attributes. Only the point block quote have by default left margin and right. And it has limited. If you want more, you can add by using styles. That is what the difference between block quote and paragraph. If you want to present the contents in this way, then better always keep in the block quotes and paragraphs. Paragraphs always define in P. And very important, all these paragraphs belong to one topic. Then we have an habit of keeping everything inside a div. Inside a div, all these content are kept. That means don't use individual divs for paragraphs. Div indicates that it ends there. The topic ends there. That's the reason all these paragraphs belongs to one topic, then put in one division. That is the correct way of presentation. Already I told you when we discussed about divs, this point, right? Paragraphs and block quotes are very simple. And what are the attributes you can give for paragraph? Attribute you can give is align. That means for paragraph, you can give align as what? Justify left center. For block quote also, we can give the align. Align as what? Justify. Justify or left or center, you can give the align attribute. By default, paragraphs and block quotes will have align attributes. So these are all the options. Now in the body section, you have so many other things that we will see in our next session. Tomorrow we will continue with that. Okay. So these all you need to practice, and tomorrow we will learn some more. After learning that, we will design a web page. Because to design web page, you need to learn some more points. Once you know, we can design some examples and I can give you those tasks. Okay. Tomorrow we will continue with this. Tomorrow we will learn other options in the body section. Right.